Hello, people. It's your boy Ambassador again doing his thing. As usual, I'll be talking about African issues, reacting on these videos, giving my perspective from a Pan Africanist point of view. I usually just ask you guys to like, share, subscribe, but most importantly, comment section, engage with me. Tell me what you think, what you don't agree with. Look for friends who have like-minded kind of discussions. I have friends who I have this kind of discussions with them. It's not everybody who's interested in it. Some people's minds are still that much in the cloud where they don't have this kind of deep conversation. So look for friends with this kind of conversations and then engage with them. And then you guys comment and then let's try to build a critical mass. So I'll be talking about Dangote. I think you guys have noticed I've spoken a lot about Dangote recently because of what's happening with him and his refinery in Nigeria. And that is just a symptom of what is killing Africa. So that's why I talk a lot about it. So this video I titled it, Dangote is not just a man.
Well, whatever we do, we add value. We are not an assembly plant. When I say assembly, we are not packaging plant. If you look at all our operations as Dangote, we actually add value. We take local raw materials and turn them into products and we sell. So which means it's a circular economy which we are practicing. Everything, is here. Everything is in Nigeria. The farmers, the banks, or maybe the people in the mines, the banks, everything is about local. And it is the main reason why we were number 2 in flour milling, but we sold it because the wheat is being imported from abroad. So the more wheat we use, the more jobs we create out there. And that's why we cancel that. We remain only in sugar. Salt is not really a very big business, so that's what we have done. And now, what are we doing? What we are doing, like what our group vice president, Mr. Alake, mentioned, is that we said that, yes, we are always the first mover. We always move first, then other people will follow. And we have never, ever, whether consciously or unconsciously, stopped anybody from doing the same business that we are doing. To the contrary, when you look at it, when we first came into cement production, it was actually only Lafarge that was operating here in Nigeria, which is Iwekoro, and then the one in Ashaka, in Gombe. Nobody ever called Lafarge, monopoly. But we, Dangote, the first plant we set up was 5 million tons. That was the first one against less than 2 million of local production. But when we got in there, people now start saying, monopoly, monopoly. And this is really very disheartening when people keep talking about all this monopoly, monopoly. Monopoly, it is only when you stop people, you block them through legal means or whatever. No, it's a, level playing field where whatever Dangote was given, okay, in cement, for example, okay, other people too were given. In fact, some of them, maybe they even got more than us. Okay, we are always very, very careful. You heard what I said. In the refinery, we did not, and I repeat, we did not collect one single incentive from the federal government of Nigeria or from even the Lagos state of Nigeria. Yes, Lagos state, maybe they gave us a good deal, but we paid $100 million for the land.
Some people feel like it's just a man, it's an Hausa man, tribal lines coming. He was friends with the former president, so this president is going against him. But I feel like we're missing the bigger picture. Dangote is an institution, it's not a man. Dangote has companies in Cameroon, my country. He has companies in most of French Africa. He has companies across Africa. When we discourage a man like Dangote, we are discouraging a lot of other investors which are at his scale to think that trying to be patriotic or invest in Africa. Although I think he'll have his ulterior motives why he's trying to do that, to make profit. Of course, he's a businessman. But I think in the grand scheme of things, just having competition and alternative rather than exporting our crude oil to buy fuel for 10 times, 15 times, 100 times the value, depending on which country you are in. Because we cannot process this crude oil into fuel which we can use in our cars. It's a shame for Africa. And when Dangote says that this is what he wants to do, he might have his profit motive at hand. But I still think that just having an option is a plausible effort. I know being a businessman, he has his other partners who have their own interests and whatever you want to say. But just having options to rather than dealing with the normal French petrol companies, American petrol companies, it should be applauded. When I see what's happening to Dangote, it's clear to me Africans are not being governed by African leaders who have African interests at heart. Some of these foreign companies are the ones funding these governments. Hence, the governments have to protect the foreign companies' interests, even at the detriment of fellow Africans. So, Dangote, what's the impact of his business? It's highlighted here. In some of these videos, I'm going to show you guys how much the Dangote as an institution is bringing to Africa. But still, we decide to play with it, and then he's been attacked to this extent by foreign competition. It's because I don't think it's the government of Nigeria that is doing this. It's foreign bodies, companies which are funding the government of Nigeria. That's why they're going against Dangote. Now, also, I think that I said this before, and I think that anybody watching this, if you're a future businessman or you are close to Dangote, it's a lesson to learn from this. Businessmen have to invest in politics because politics puts in place the policies that govern how your business is carried out. It's not for any reason that you see each year they have American elections. They have what they call fundraising. You have people you call lobbyists who take huge sums of billions money, bring to fund these campaigns. And when they're funding these campaigns, they also make clear that their agenda for why they're funding this campaign or the interest of the businessman they are representing is being put on the table with the political candidate. So that when this candidate wins the election, they can protect the interests of this businessman. So that's the role of the lobbyists when they fund some of these American campaigns. But when our African politicians or businessmen don't fund or don't get involved, cut across, like like the most famous lobbyists are the Kush brothers, who they fund both sides of the campaign in America, both Republican and Democrats, so that no matter who wins, they have their leg in the door to be able to negotiate some of their own deals. But in Africa, our businessmen don't pay attention enough to politics, or in politics they'll just wear the, maybe like in Cameroon, they'll wear the CPDM regalia to say they're in the party, but you don't see them invested in politics. Recently, I remember there was one time they attacked the richest man in Cameroon, Dampolo, in South Africa. Seized things worth billions for him in South Africa. And the Cameroon government was very passive about it, and I was saying that this is not a matter of Dampolo. This is a matter of Cameroon interests. If you see the way the South African government was protecting South African interests and going against Dampolo, it was been normal for the Cameroon government to go against MTN in Cameroon because that's a South African company making billions in Cameroon. If they play with Dampolo in South Africa, we play with MTN in Cameroon. It's simple. We have seen those things happen between Russia and America. When America feels like, let's say, Apple is under attack by Chinese government, they start to also squeeze things on TikTok, saying you either sell TikTok to an American investor or we'll ban TikTok in America. Those are those games that are being played, but for some reason Africans don't see it, and we just move blindly into the global market, and we are being played like the ball instead of being players to also play the ball. So, with that being said, as I've said, the issue of Dangote is not a matter of Dangote as a person or an Hausa man or a Nigerian. No, it's a matter of national interest, African interest, and we as Africans making sure that our interest is being protected. So, with that being said, I just say these things to spark the thought. You guys should like, share, comment, most especially comment, give me your opinion. As usual, as your boy Ambassador, I'm out.